The church's teaching presents a wholeness of, here's God's design and his plan for man and woman and for marriage and family. And what the church presents to us preserves sort of the integrity of that, the wholeness of what God intends for family, for marriage and sexuality. I think that that's a misconception, is where the church is coming from. Well, that's where the church is coming from, is God has this is his intention for us. And what the church has taught is to facilitate that, to help us live into everything that his intention is for us in marriage. God has this in mind for us, this whole goodness in mind for us, and embracing all of it. If you can even imagine it like a big blanket, there's not a part of it. It's the whole goodness that covers our marriage, our life, our family. I do feel like we have experienced, the grace of that wholeness, the integrity of the sacrament of marriage, kind of covering the difficulties. There's this whole ideology that, I don't know if that's the right word, but that has been proposed about this is what family life is and this is the way it should be lived. Well, we see the fruit of that all around us, of broken families, broken marriages, broken lives, and particularly the children and all of that. So here's something that's different, that's beautiful, that respects the individual people involved, respects and facilitates the sacrament and keeps the children safe. To me, in my understanding of it, natural family planning, the church's perspective on welcoming children into your family, following God's plan for that, is just very consistent with that idea of respecting the wholeness of the individuals and the marriage. There's, there's the unitive element of human sexuality in marriage. There's the procreative element, and natural family planning does not exclude one or the other. Whereas I think contraceptives, they do. They're one over the other. An integrated marriage, integrated people, this is who we are, this is what we are. We're not going to ignore any part of it or not talk about any part of it. It's all out there. And that's challenging sometimes, but very healthy and very good. If you want a great crop of tomatoes, you don't put the tomato plant in the closet. We all know that tomatoes any plant needs sunlight and water and oxygen. And so if you want the tomato plant to be all it can be, then you need to give it, be respectful of all those different elements according to the natural law of tomatoes. I think that's a wonderful analogy, again, for human sexuality. If you want your marriage, if you want your experience in sexuality to be all that God intended it to be, then we have to be respectful of the natural law associated with it. That it is unitive and it is procreative.